One choice. That's all it takes. One decision in a single moment can rewrite the story of your life. Not tomorrow, not years from now, right now. The life you dream of, the future you crave, the freedom you deserve, it doesn't wait for luck. It waits for choice. And the truth is this: you are one choice away from a completely different reality. One choice. That's all it takes. One single decision has the power to rewrite the script of your life. Every great story you've ever admired, every leader you've ever respected, every dream you've ever chased, it all began with a choice. And here's the truth: it isn't luck, it isn't privilege, it isn't chance, it's choice. Too many people live their lives believing the turning point will come from the outside. But transformation never comes from something you're given. It comes from something you decide. That decision might be small in the moment, but it is massive in its impact. One choice to get up earlier. One choice to say no to what doesn't serve you. One choice to step into the unknown instead of staying safe. And in that single moment, the entire trajectory of your life can change. The question is, will you be the one who waits for life to choose for you? Or will you be the one who chooses for yourself? Courage or comfort? That's the battle you face every single day. Comfort is seductive. It whispers to you, telling you that staying where you are is safer, easier, better. But the truth is, comfort is a cage, and it keeps you small while making you believe you're free. The people who rise to greatness are not born fearless. They are people who made a choice. They chose courage when it was uncomfortable. They chose courage when everyone doubted them. They chose courage when fear was louder than their faith. Every step into the unknown is terrifying, yes, but it's also where life begins to expand. Think about it. Every breakthrough in history, every personal transformation, every defining moment of success started with someone who said, "I'm afraid, but I'm doing it anyway." That choice separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. And the truth is, you already have the courage inside you. The only question is, will you choose to use it or let comfort keep you where you are? Excuses or discipline? This is where dreams either die or come alive. Excuses are seductive. They make you feel justified, validated, even safe. They sound like reasons, but in reality, they are chains holding you back. And every time you give in to them, you give away a piece of your potential. Discipline, on the other hand, is demanding. It will test you, stretch you, even exhaust you at times. But it also builds strength, focus, and results. The truth is, discipline is freedom disguised as struggle. One disciplined choice to wake up earlier, to put in the work, to keep going when it's hard. Those choices compound. They build momentum. They transform you into someone unrecognizable compared to who you were. Excuses build regret. Discipline builds results. And when you look back at your life, you will not remember the excuses that protected you. You will only see the results of the discipline you chose. So ask yourself, are you willing to trade temporary discomfort for permanent transformation? Approval or growth? This choice is subtle, but it is everything. Too many lives are wasted in the endless chase for validation, approval, and acceptance. We are conditioned to seek the applause, the likes, the recognition. But here's the truth. Approval will never build your future. It doesn't make you stronger, it doesn't sharpen your skills, and it doesn't take you closer to your dreams. Growth does, and growth is messy. Growth demands failure. Growth requires rejection. Growth forces you to be misunderstood, criticized, and doubted. But in the process, growth stretches you into the person who can actually carry the life you want. Approval keeps you stuck where you are. Growth takes you where you've never been. Every time you choose growth over validation, you expand your capacity. You stop living for applause and start living for purpose. And that choice, though lonely at times, becomes the foundation for a life of unshakable confidence and undeniable success. Purpose or distraction. This choice defines whether your life will be meaningful or wasted. We live in a world that is constantly competing for your attention. Every scroll, every notification, every comparison is designed to steal your focus. And if you don't choose with intention, distraction will choose for you. It will consume your hours, your energy, your dreams. But one choice to step away from the noise, to silence the meaningless chatter, to give your attention to what truly matters. That one choice shifts everything. Purpose is not something you stumble upon. It's something you choose every single day. It's the decision to prioritize what feeds your soul over what entertains your mind. It's the decision to build instead of consume, to create instead of compare, to commit instead of wander. Distractions will always be there, louder than ever. But purpose requires your focus. And once you choose it, you discover something powerful. That the life you want was never hidden from you. It was simply waiting for you to look up, cut the noise, and decide. Resilience or defeat. This is the choice that life will force you to make again and again. Because no matter who you are, no matter how talented, how disciplined or how focused, you will fall, you will fail, you will face setbacks so heavy that quitting will look like the only option. But here's the difference between those who rise and those who disappear: resilience. Resilience is not a personality trait. It's not something you're born with. It's a choice. A choice to get back up when you're tired. A choice to fight again when you're wounded. A choice to keep moving forward when the world is telling you to stop. Every time you choose resilience, you rewrite the limits of what's possible for you. Defeat tells you that this is the end. Resilience proves that it's just the beginning. And when you look back years from now, you will realize your strongest moments weren't the ones when everything was easy. They were the moments when you stood back up, stronger, after life tried to break you. Action or waiting. This is the choice that defines everything. Most people waste their lives waiting. Waiting for the perfect timing. Waiting for the perfect opportunity. Waiting for the sign that never comes. But waiting kills more dreams than failure ever will. Action is what changes lives. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates opportunity. And opportunity transforms into results. That one choice to act now, to start the business, to make the call, to take the leap, can open doors you didn't even know existed. The longer you wait, the heavier fear grows. But the moment you act, fear loses its power. And the beauty is this: action doesn't have to be massive. It just has to begin. One step forward today can take you places waiting will never reach in a lifetime. The choice is yours. Wait and wonder, or act and transform. So hear me clearly: your life is not defined by chances. It is defined by choices. Every day you are given the opportunity to choose courage over comfort, discipline over excuses, growth over approval, purpose over distractions, resilience over defeat, and action over waiting. One choice can change everything. Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. And the only question that remains is this: will you be the one who chooses? Excuses are the most dangerous comfort we allow ourselves to live with. They arrive dressed as logic, sounding convincing enough to ease our conscience, but in reality, they are silent thieves. They rob us of progress, of opportunity, of transformation. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," every time you whisper, "I am too tired, too busy, too unprepared," you hand your power away. Excuses feel harmless in the moment, but they pile up, stacking into walls that block you from the life you crave. And when you look back, you won't remember the reasons. You will only see the results of what you never started. The most dangerous phrase in the English language is, "Someday I will," because someday never comes. The truth is simply, if you do not choose discipline, excuses will choose you. And once they do, they will quietly chain you to mediocrity. Discipline, on the other hand, is a choice that looks brutal in the moment, but liberating in the long run. It demands effort, consistency, and sacrifice. It will ask you to do things you don't want to do, on days you don't feel like doing them, with energy you don't think you have. But that's the very point. Discipline is not about ease. It is about transformation. It builds resilience in your mind, strength in your body, and certainty in your character. It is the muscle that grows every time you refuse to quit. And unlike excuses, which give temporary comfort but long-term regret, discipline gives temporary discomfort but long-term freedom. That's the irony most people never grasp. Discipline is not punishment. It's permission. Permission to step into the life you dream about. Permission to live on your own terms. Permission to break free from everything that holds you down. Excuses feed your weaknesses, while discipline feeds your power. Excuses will tell you to take the shortcut, to rest when you should push, to delay when you should begin. They speak in the language of limitation, convincing you that what you want is too hard, too far, too impossible. But discipline silences that voice. Discipline steps in and says, "I don't care how hard it is. We are doing it anyway." And in that single choice, you prove to yourself that you are greater than your excuses. You become someone who no longer negotiates with weakness. Because here's the truth: success doesn't belong to the smartest, the richest, or even the most talented. It belongs to the disciplined, to the ones who choose to show up when others check out, to the ones who decide that their dreams are worth more than their excuses. Discipline is not glamorous. It's built in the dark. It's in the quiet mornings when the world is still asleep and you're grinding alone. It's in the late nights when others are scrolling or drinking and you're still putting in the work. It's in the hundreds of invisible choices no one claps for, no one notices, no one celebrates. But over time, those choices add up. They build a life so powerful that people call it luck. But it was never luck. It was discipline, layered day after day, when no one was watching. Excuses may give you a temporary way out, but they leave you stuck exactly where you are. Discipline doesn't just move you forward. It elevates you, step by step, until the gap between who you are and who you want to be closes completely. And make no mistake, discipline is not about being perfect. It's not about never slipping, never falling, never failing. It's about the choice to keep coming back, the choice to rise even when you stumble, the choice to commit even after you've been knocked down. Excuses tell you, you failed once, so why bother? Discipline says, you failed once, so let's try again. That difference is everything. Because greatness isn't built in moments of perfection. It's built in moments of persistence. It's built in the 1,000 times you said no to what was easy, so you could say yes to what was necessary. And over time, those decisions shape a life no excuse could ever deliver. At the end of your life, you won't remember the comfort of your excuses. You won't look back and smile at the moments you chose to stay in bed, to delay, to avoid the hard things. You will remember the times you pushed, the moments you sacrificed, the seasons you chose discipline instead of giving up. Because those moments will be the very ones that built your story. The difference between a life of regret and a life of fulfillment comes down to one simple truth: discipline or excuses. And that choice, though it may seem small in the moment, will echo across your future. So choose discipline. Choose it when you're tired. Choose it when you're afraid. Choose it when every excuse in the world tells you not to. Because excuses may build regret, but discipline builds freedom. And one choice today to choose discipline over excuses can change everything. We live in a world obsessed with approval. From the moment we're born, we are conditioned to seek validation, first from our parents, then our teachers, later our peers, and eventually from society at large. We chase the applause, the recognition, the likes, the praise, hoping it will make us feel complete. But here's the truth: approval is a moving target. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you do, it will never be enough. There will always be someone who disapproves, someone who criticizes, someone who demands more. And if you build your life on approval, you will spend your entire existence chasing something you can never fully hold. Approval feels good for a moment, but it is fleeting. Growth, on the other hand, lasts forever. Growth expands you, transforms you, and gives you strength no outside opinion can touch. The moment you choose growth over approval, you break free from the chains of needing to be liked and step into the power of becoming unstoppable. Approval is seductive because it feels safe. When people approve of us, it means we fit in. It means we belong. It means we are accepted. But belonging at the cost of your potential is the greatest trap of all. Too many people play small, hiding their true selves, lowering their standards, dimming their light, all in exchange for approval. They silence their own voice so others won't feel uncomfortable. They abandon their dreams so they won't be judged. But here's the reality: when you live for approval, you are not living for yourself. You are living a version of your life scripted by others. Growth demands a different path. Growth asks you to step into the unknown, to stand alone at times, to be misunderstood. Growth isn't about being liked. It's about becoming who you are meant to be. And often, that means being willing to let go of approval to rise into something greater. Growth requires failure. It requires mistakes, rejection, and criticism. And those are the very things obsessed people run from. If you are addicted to approval, every failure feels like proof that you're not enough. Every rejection feels like a wound. Every criticism feels like a collapse. But when you choose growth, you understand failure is not final. It's feedback. Rejection is not the end. It's redirection. Criticism is not destruction. It's instruction. Growth transforms obstacles into opportunities, pain into wisdom, and doubt into fuel. And the people who grow the most are not those who were applauded every step of the way, but those who learn to rise even when no one clapped, to keep going even when no one approved, to push forward even when every voice told them to stop. That's the difference between living for approval and living for growth. Choosing growth over approval is not easy. It is lonely. There will be nights when you wonder if the sacrifice is worth it. There will be days when the criticism stings so deeply that quitting feels easier. But understand this: every season of growth has its pain, and every pain has its purpose. The discomfort you feel is proof that you are stretching. The rejection you face is proof that you are trying. The criticism you hear is proof that you are daring to be different. Approval is about fitting in. Growth is about standing out. Approval wants you to conform. Growth wants you to transform. And the truth is this: the people who once disapproved of you will eventually admire you. Not because you chased their approval, but because you chose to grow beyond their expectations. Think about the people you admire most. The visionaries, the leaders, the change makers. Were they universally approved of when they started? Absolutely not. They were ridiculed, criticized, doubted, and even hated. But they did not build their lives on approval. They built their lives on growth. They were willing to stand alone when necessary, to be misunderstood, to be criticized, because they understood that growth demands sacrifice. And now, the very people who once disapproved are the ones studying their lives, quoting their words, and applauding their achievements. That is the irony of growth. When you stop living for approval and start living for purpose, you eventually gain the respect you once thought you had to chase. At the end of the day, approval is temporary, but growth is permanent. Approval is borrowed, but growth is earned. Approval depends on others, but growth depends on you. The choice is clear. You can live a life constantly bending to please others, shrinking to be accepted, silencing yourself to avoid criticism. Or you can live a life of growth, failing, rising, learning, stretching, becoming. One life is safe, predictable, and small. The other is bold, risky, and limitless. And the difference comes down to one choice. Will you keep chasing approval, or will you commit to growth? Because here is the truth. Approval fades, but growth lasts forever. Approval pleases others, but growth transforms you. And one choice, one single choice to choose growth over approval, can change everything. Distractions are everywhere. They live in your pocket, on your screen, in your conversations, in the noise of the world around you. They are endless. Scrolls, feeds, gossip, comparison, endless consumption of things that add nothing to your growth. Distractions are designed to rob you of the most valuable thing you own, your focus. And the truth is, focus is life. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Where your energy flows, your future is built. Every time you choose distraction, you trade a piece of your destiny for a moment of meaningless comfort. Every time you choose purpose, you trade short-term entertainment for long-term transformation. That is the choice in front of you: daily purpose or distraction. And the truth is that one choice determines whether your life becomes extraordinary or wasted. The problem with distractions is that they feel harmless. 5 minutes scrolling, one quick check of notifications, a little gossip here, a little drama there. But distractions don't just consume minutes, they consume momentum. They rob you of the ability to stay locked into what matters. They interrupt your flow, your vision, your clarity. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to live a life on autopilot. Busy but not productive, entertained but not fulfilled, connected but not truly alive. Purpose, on the other hand, requires intention. It asks you to rise above the noise and direct your energy towards something greater than yourself. It asks you to choose what builds instead of what breaks, what elevates instead of what drains, what drives you forward instead of what keeps you stagnant. Distraction steals. Purpose multiplies. That's the difference between living a life that matters and living a life that disappears unnoticed. Choosing purpose over distraction demands sacrifice. It means saying no when everyone else is saying yes. It means walking away from conversations that waste your time. It means resisting the urge to compare your life to people on screens who don't even live the lives they portray. And yes, it feels uncomfortable because distraction is addictive. It gives you the illusion of being busy, of being connected, of being fulfilled. But illusion is not reality. And when you peel it back, you realize that distraction leaves you empty. Purpose, on the other hand, fills you. It fuels you. It gives you a reason to keep pushing when it's hard, to keep fighting when you're tired, to keep building when no one is watching. Purpose is not easy, but it is worth it. Because purpose is what turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. The people who live with purpose are not the ones who had the most time. They are the ones who use their time wisely. Every single one of us gets the same 24 hours. The difference between those who build legacies and those who waste their lives is how they spend them. Distractions eat your hours. Purpose multiplies them. 1 hour spent distracted is gone forever. 1 hour spent on purpose compounds into results that last a lifetime. That's the power of choosing wisely. And it's not about eliminating all distractions instantly. It's about recognizing them for what they are: thieves. Thieves of time, energy, and possibility. The moment you see distraction as the enemy, you begin to fight for your purpose with a fire that cannot be extinguished. And understand this: purpose doesn't magically appear. You don't stumble across it like lost treasure. Purpose is chosen. It's crafted through decisions, refined through effort, and built through discipline. Purpose is not a destination. It is a direction. It is deciding every single day that you will not waste your life chasing meaningless distractions, but instead you will commit your energy to something that matters. It doesn't have to be world-changing. It just has to be meaningful to you. Whether it's building a business, raising a family, writing, serving, creating. Purpose is not about what others think of your life. It's about what you know in your soul you were meant to do. Distraction pulls you away from that truth. Purpose pulls you deeper into it. And that choice, every single day, is yours. At the end of your life, you will not remember the hours you spent scrolling. You won't remember the gossip, the meaningless conversations, the empty distractions that felt so urgent in the moment. You will remember what you built. You will remember what you gave. You will remember the moments when you lived with clarity, with passion, with direction. And when people speak your name, they will not remember how entertained you were. They will remember the impact you made. That impact begins with one choice: to silence the noise, to cut the distractions, to focus your energy on purpose, to live your life with meaning, instead of wasting it on moments that disappear. So choose wisely. Choose purpose over distraction. Choose meaning over noise. Choose a life that matters over a life that disappears. Because every distraction steals, but purpose multiplies. And one choice, one single choice today to live with purpose, can change everything. Life will test you. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. It will hit you with storms you didn't see coming, betrayals you didn't expect, and losses you didn't think you could survive. And in those moments, defeat will whisper in your ear. It will tell you that it's easier to quit, safer to give up, smarter to stop fighting. Defeat will try to convince you that your story ends here. But resilience is the voice that speaks louder. Resilience says, "This is not the end. This is the beginning." Get up. And in that single choice, choosing resilience over defeat, you decide the direction of your life. Because defeat ends your journey, resilience transforms it. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you choose. It's the decision to stand back up when the ground has been ripped from beneath you. It's the courage to try again after you've failed in front of everyone. It's the strength to keep moving forward when your body is tired, your mind is exhausted, and your heart is heavy. Most people think resilience is about never breaking, but that's not true. Resilience is about breaking and then refusing to stay broken. It's about acknowledging the pain, but not letting it define you. It's about choosing to rise when staying down would be so much easier. That choice, again and again, is what builds unshakable strength. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary has faced defeat. The difference is, they didn't stop there. They didn't let failure be the period at the end of their sentence. They turned it into a comma and kept writing. Resilience transforms failure into fuel. It turns rejection into redirection. It takes the hardest blows of life and molds them into the very strength you need to succeed. Defeat tells you, this is proof you're not enough. Resilience says, this is proof you're still in the fight. And the truth is, resilience is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Everyone gets knocked down, but not everyone chooses to rise. Resilience is built in the darkest seasons of life. It's built in the silence, after you've lost something you thought you couldn't live without. It's built in the lonely nights when you're fighting battles no one else sees. It's built in the days when giving up would make perfect sense, but you choose to keep going anyway. Those moments are where resilience is born. Not when things are easy, but when everything feels impossible. And when you survive those moments, when you rise in spite of them, you become untouchable. Because once you face defeat and refuse to be defined by it, there is nothing in this world that can break you again. But make no mistake, choosing resilience is not about ignoring pain. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about acknowledging that life hurts, but still refusing to let that pain end your story. It's about saying, yes, this broke me, but it will not bury me. Resilience allows you to feel the weight without being crushed by it. It gives you the power to transform wounds into wisdom, losses into lessons, and heartbreaks into breakthroughs. And with each battle, each fall, each rise, your resilience grows stronger. Until one day, the very things that once threatened to destroy you become the foundation that makes you unshakable. At the end of your life, no one will remember how many times you fell. They will remember how many times you rose. They won't celebrate the defeats that tried to break you. They will celebrate the resilience that carried you through. Because resilience is not just about survival, it's about victory. It's about proving to yourself that nothing, no failure, no rejection, no heartbreak, no loss, has the power to stop you. Defeat is final only if you choose it. Resilience is infinite if you claim it. And in the end, that one choice, to rise instead of surrender, becomes the difference between a life of regret and a life of unstoppable strength. So choose resilience. Choose it when life knocks you down. Choose it when the pain feels unbearable. Choose it when defeat whispers in your ear. Because defeat ends your story, but resilience rewrites it. And one choice, one single choice to rise again, can change everything. Waiting is the silent killer of dreams. It looks harmless, even responsible. You tell yourself you're just waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right sign. You convince yourself that once the timing is perfect, you'll finally take the leap. But here's the truth: perfection is a myth. There will never be a perfect moment. The stars will never align in the exact way you want them to. And every day you wait, every day you hesitate, every day you postpone, You hand your dreams over to fear. Waiting feels safe, but it is nothing more than procrastination disguised as patience. Action, on the other hand, is messy. It's uncertain. It's filled with mistakes, failures, and doubts. But action is the only thing that creates change. One choice to act, even imperfectly, carries more power than a lifetime of waiting. Most people spend their lives in the someday trap. Someday I'll start the business. Someday I'll take the risk. Someday I'll live the life I dream of. But someday never comes. It's a lie we tell ourselves to feel better about doing nothing today. And the danger is this: time doesn't wait for you. The clock is always moving. While you're waiting, your opportunities are slipping away. While you're hesitating, someone else is taking action. While you're dreaming, someone else is building. Action doesn't guarantee success, but waiting guarantees regret. The only people who achieve their goals are not the ones who had the best ideas or the perfect plan, but the ones who moved, who started, who acted. Because movement creates momentum, and momentum creates possibility. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. No amount of thinking, planning, or dreaming can build that bridge for you. You can have the vision, the passion, the potential. But if you don't act, none of it matters. Waiting is standing on one side of the canyon, staring at the life you want, but never stepping forward to cross it. Action is taking that step, shaky and uncertain, but moving anyway. And with each step, the bridge begins to form. With each choice, the path reveals itself. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to take the first step. Because action is not about having it all figured out. It's about moving forward, even when you don't. And that movement is what unlocks doors you never even knew existed. Yes, action comes with risk. You will stumble. You will fail. You will face setbacks. But failure is not the enemy. Inaction is. Failure teaches. Failure refines. Failure strengthens. Waiting teaches you nothing. It only feeds your fear. Action, even when it doesn't go the way you planned, gives you something waiting never will. Experience. And experience is priceless. It sharpens your instincts, builds your confidence, and shapes your resilience. The people you admire most, the ones who built legacies, were not the ones who waited until they were ready. They were the ones who acted before they were prepared, learned through failure, and grew through experience. That is the difference. Waiting kills, but action creates. And let's be honest, fear is what keeps you waiting. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. But here's the truth. Fear doesn't disappear by waiting. Fear grows stronger the longer you hesitate. It tightens its grip with every moment you delay. The only way to silence fear is through action. The moment you move, fear loses its power. The moment you act, you realize it wasn't as terrifying as you thought. Fear feeds on hesitation, but it starves in the face of movement. That's why action is so powerful. It doesn't just move you forward, it frees you. Every step you take in the face of fear builds confidence, courage, and strength. And soon, what once terrified you becomes the very thing that empowers you. At the end of your life, you will not regret the risks you took, the leaps you made, the actions you chose. You will regret the moments you waited. You will regret the chances you didn't take, the doors you never opened, the steps you never walked. Life is not lived in hesitation. It is lived in motion. The choice is yours. You can wait and wonder forever, or you can act and transform today. Action is the single decision that separates dreamers from doers, the ones who talk from the ones who achieve. One step today, is worth more than 1,000 tomorrows. And that step is always in your control. So choose action. Choose it when you're afraid. Choose it when you feel unprepared. Choose it when waiting feels safer. Because waiting will kill your dreams, but action will bring them to life. And one choice, one single choice to act now, can change everything. At the end of the day, life is a series of choices. Courage or comfort, discipline or excuses, growth or approval, purpose or distraction, resilience or defeat, action or waiting. Every single one of those crossroads is shaping you, building you, and directing your future. And the truth is this: your destiny doesn't change when circumstances change. Your destiny changes when you choose differently. One choice can transform your story. One decision can alter your path. One moment of conviction can change everything. The question is not whether you have the power. You do. The question is whether you will use it. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop handing your future to fear. Choose courage. Choose discipline. Choose growth. Choose purpose. Choose resilience. Choose action. Because one choice, one single choice today, can change everything.